Today's the 9th, December 9th. Factoring and solving equations. If you do not know how to factor, what we just did to review, some things you should try Googling or YouTubing is factor trinomials, that subject, or search factor polynomials. So if you do not feel comfortable talking to me, going to before or after school tutoring, Google those. There are helpful videos out there. With difference of squares, I'm going to take the square root of each. So 25x to the fourth if you take the square root. Those will be the first. The square root of 36 will go last in each parenthesis. One of them's subtraction, one of them's addition. Moving on to the other. We got to figure out what strategy is going to be helpful. If we take out 2b's, what's left? So here's some thought. First off, that b squared, totally going to be in my answer, so I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to just do a little thought out in a corner. If we had something squared, I'm just going to use the coefficients. If I have x squared minus 8x plus 16, can this be factored? Product of 16, sum, negative 8. What are your two numbers? Negative 4, negative 4. So I could break this up into x minus 4, x minus 4. Now notice the difference between this and what we're dealing with. First off, we still have a coefficient of 1, negative 8, and then 16. The only thing different are their variables. Watch how it works. I know it's going to break up into minus 4, minus 4. But I'm going to use their variables. A's are definitely in the front. Notice how it's 16b squared. So that means a b has to be attached to each 4. Next example. Four x squared. They are all even. They are all even. I would take out a 2. And then we need to notice there would be another 2 left. What if I had the same problem just written a little differently? I'm just going to use their coefficients. Could we factor that? What two numbers multiply to 6 but I'll add and give you negative 5? So instead of x minus 2, x minus 3, we're going to put x squared minus 2, x squared minus 3. I need a product and a sum. Product, negative 21, sum of 4. What two numbers?
7 and negative 3.
I'm going to write 7, negative 3, but divide them both by your a coefficient. But what is your first term? Instead of x and x, it's going to be x squared and x squared. If you cleaned it up, x squared plus 7, x squared minus 3. They both have a y in common. They both have a 2 in common. Let's take it out. And we see what's left. Into y squared minus 3, y squared plus 3. The first case, I'm going to see what's going to make this y 0. What will make this 0? And what will make this factor 0? 0. Take the square root of both sides, but when you do that, don't forget your plus or minus. Still going to take the square root of both sides. We get a plus or minus. Since we're going to have a negative square root, I'm already going to take out my I. We also have positive root 3, negative root 3, positive I root 3, negative I root 3. Notice how many solutions we have and what is the degree of the polynomial. We got to figure out what's being cubed in the first spot minus what's being cubed in the next spot. We'll have a minus b in the first parenthesis. Then we have to have a squared, whatever's in the first spot squared, plus a times b plus b squared. 3 squared. First case, what's your solution? Woo! The opposite of b, plus or minus the square root, b squared, so that's going to be 9, minus 4ac, all over 2a.
What is it? B3?
B is 3. So if I simplified that one more time, just trust me on this, it's going to be 3i root 3 over 2. Because we only want the real ones, this is it.